This is the most delusional shit I've ever heard.
I'm starting a family.
Dude, Tactical Templar is so funny on Twitter because this guy is like a giga traditionalist. And like, bro, he's just going off on every OnlyFans girl saying like, yeah, enjoy your fame. Anyways, when you're 5 years and you don't have a kid, you're probably going to kill yourself. That's just how it is. It's just so funny, bro. It's so funny.
Brothers, it is I, Tactical Templar, the #1 giga traditionalist. Well, today we're going to be looking at Angry Joe and his recent crash out. This is one of the most embarrassing things that I've seen from Joe since his last crash out, which ironically is the last time anyone talked about him. Angry Joe has fallen off in a way that is really hard to describe. In 2009, this guy was one of the biggest content creators as it relates to gaming. But now you take a look at the last 2 weeks, you look at his channel is dead. That is death. That is no subscribers. 0. That is no growth. He's getting moderately decent views, but not for a channel that size. And then on top of that, and this is crazy, he's a 3.27 million subscriber channel. And he's getting 6.5 million views in a month. A month. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But before we get into that, I want to take a moment and I want to go back to the past, because I think this context is actually very important in understanding Angry Joe's Trump derangement syndrome. This is not something new. This video is from 6 years ago. This is him talking about, well, it's him talking about Trump, but then I go on to talk about his take on Battlefield 5.
And you can refute me if you want, but I guarantee you the majority of people that voted for Trump are uneducated. I know that's like, oh, Joe, that's fucked up to say. No, that's actually the fact. And if you want to show me proof otherwise, you won't find it. I guarantee you the uneducated voted for Trump.
Well, Joe, maybe that's true, maybe that's not, but at least we can define what a woman is. You know, the irony of people on the left saying that they're the educated ones. No, you're the most clownishly retarded of any group that humanity has ever produced. The things that you believe are fascism and authoritarianism is basically just you being held accountable. That's the truth. What you view as fascism and Hitlerianism is just literally you being held to account for your own actions. And you are such a pampered, privileged little bitch, little princess, that you go, but accountability, it's icky. I don't like it. Well, Joe, it's here, and it's not going away. You are the last vestiges of wokeness and content creation. Your breed of, we're going to gatekeep normal gamers out of the space, that's done. Your brand of trying to shame gamers, oh, what, you're criticizing Battlefield 5 because you don't want a 5'2" woman with an amputated bionic arm bludgeoning Nazis on the front of World War II? You must just be a misogynist. Joe, you have fought to help companies censor work by going after gamers as being gooners and perverts. Now, there may be some truth to that, but the fact is that there are a lot of people that just don't want censorship in their games. But you were somebody saying, guys, this SJW thing, this wokeness thing, this is so blown out of proportion. They're not coming for your games. You're going to be able to jack off. Do you remember that, Joe? I do. I will never forget it. It was one of the most pathetic things, and you were in a position at that time to actually make a stand and make your voice be heard, but you failed. And that failure resonated throughout your entire brand, who you were. And that is ultimately, I think, in combination with you getting fat and lazy, is what killed your career. So here we have Trump saying, the museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. Now, what he's talking about is the revisionist history, the portrayal of America as bad. America bad. America is very, very bad. America evil. America bad. Capitalism bad. Socialism good. Communist. That's what he's talking about. That a lot of these museums are so mentally retarded that they have time management as a symptom of white supremacy. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been, which is, again, something true. It's something true that these places don't want to acknowledge that capitalism has uplifted more people than any other culture in history. Capitalism has done more good. America has done more good for the world than any other culture in history. That is something worth noting. Even our homeless people have cell phones these days. Like, the reality is that, yeah, we have created something great here and we should talk about it. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. We are not going to allow this to happen, and I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities where tremendous progress has been made. This country cannot be woke because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including our museums. Now, Joe has a generational crash out over this. This is a Hassan grade crash out. Every effing day, a new embarrassment. Could this stupid fuck be any dumber? They are called history museums for a reason, you fascist pedophile. Now release the unredacted Epstein files like you said you would, and stop sending your attorneys to fuck with museums and shit you don't like. Snowflake bitch. This is not what a president does. Calling everything you don't like woke is beyond cringe. No one buys that shit anymore. Joe, no one buys your shit anymore. No one watches you. No one cares about you. We're only talking about you because you made a fool out of yourself. You basically said, hey guys, want to see me douse, sriracha in my eye? We're like, not really. Oh, well, I'm going to do it. Where you're looking at like, oh God. Oh man, that looks painful. Like a car accident. You feel bad, but you can't turn away. Joe, you are the car accident. You are the disaster. And you're crashing out thinking, what, that people resonate with you? We're going to get to that in a minute, Joe. But no, you are an army of one. Nobody backs you. Nobody supports you. And you're going to find that more and more, you are the one on the outs. And maybe that is why you're so angry. Maybe we finally figured it out. Maybe you're so angry, Joe, because your ideology is the one that's on the outs. More people agree with me than agree with you. Snowflake, bitch. Nobody buys that shit anymore but your brain dead cult. Joe, you're not gonna want to start talking about cults, brother. You're a left-wing hack has-been. Everything that you do and say is regurgitated slop. It's pig shit. It is the most brain-dead, cultish, insufferable garbage. It is junk food for mentally ill retards. And you're just pouring it out there and then eating it yourself. It's fucking disgusting. Stupid fuckers are just cool with letting the senile 80-year-old grandpa use Hitler for dummies. God, that's so fucking embarrassing, Joe. Hitler for dummies. He wants to talk about how America is great. That this is a great country. And Joe's take is, well, that's Hitler for dummies. Can we just take a moment to marvel at what a phenomenal retard this guy is? What value does Angry Joe provide the United States? How does he make this country better? I think we should have the conversation about deporting Angry Joe. send him back somewhere else. Obviously, there's somewhere that he thinks is better. There's somewhere that he thinks is more in line with his values. We'll send him there. Joe, we'll pay for your ticket. We'll pay for your ticket to get your ass out of the country. Because we're reclaiming America. And your woke cabal of deranged, depressing, mentally ill perverts and freaks, you lost. Now you're kicking and screaming, but we're going to drag you by your hair to alligator Alcatraz, metaphorically, and we're going to get you out. Because the country can't survive you. Your ideology is poison. It is toxic. It is perverse. It is degenerate. It is an abomination. It is a blight. And you and your way of thinking are done. But then he goes on to say, for F's sake, fight back. Well, let's take a look at how this is being received. I've already gone through and I've liked a couple of these comments because, damn, some of these are pretty good. Shut the F up. The last 30 plus years of revisionist history need to be revoked. We are going to make you remember the glory of our past, and it will carry us into the future. And we will drag you kicking and screaming into the phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely. That is a very, very good. I like that a lot. All right, what's the next one? Joe, you're an effing retard. Stop talking politics. It's nothing but feminine emotion from you. All you know is video games. Stick to that. Joe, I'm not seeing much support here, brother. You claim others are in a cult, but then you spam words like fascist, pedophile, etc. Trump derangement syndrome needs to be studied. So remember when they went around taking down all the statues, changing names of schools, historic locations, and pancake syrup? Yeah, good times, Joe. I still remember the Land O'Lake Indian girl that they took away. And yeah, we will never forget Aunt Jemima. Hey, little buddy, have you considered crying about it? Yo, Grok, does this strike you as a dude with major Trump derangement syndrome? Yes, Joe, every day we see you, and it is a new embarrassment. Fight back! Project Woke in museums. You are an idiot, bro. Stick to video games. What a deceitful take, Joe. These history museums only show the negative, the terrible, the worst. They exist to demoralize and demean, not to show history. If it showed everything, that would be fine. They don't, and you know that. That's why you lied about it. The effort you on about, you're an embarrassment. Video games have declined because you stray from your expertise. You know, Joe is somebody that has defended censorship. He's defended some of the worst choices of these corporations. And at every opportunity, he has been against gamers. He has been against gamers, against corporations and game devs and people in the media that want to change games to be woke and disgusting and insufferable and things that nobody wants to enjoy. And the irony is that Angry Joe should be given his head start in a position that's so far above somebody like Asmongold, but Asmongold eclipses Angry Joe in every possible way. And that's because Asmongold speaks to people, and he doesn't do it in a pompous, condescending way. He doesn't have spurg out sessions like this. And the reality is that what he's saying about ugly women in video games is true. Asmongold is doing what Angry Joe should have, and if he had, maybe his career wouldn't be over. I can't believe I ever wanted to chat with you. Go F yourself. You are nothing but a selfish crybaby. You don't give a shit about the livelihoods of the people who work with you. You're just a petulant asswipe. Yeah, amazing. You really want to talk about pedos, Joe? Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's sus what's going on with the Epstein thing, but you don't have any ground to stand on. Oof, God, Angry Joe's taking a major blow. How are you this monumentally stupid? It's a crime that the most uninformed voices are the loudest and most well paid. You make yourself look like a fool every time you try to give your opinion on politics. Many follow you for your gaming content. Stick to that. I'm convinced TDS is a thing. TDS is a real problem. So you calling everything woke is cringe, but then do the same with the Hitler comparison. Yeah, Joe is a walking contradiction. He's a walking contradiction. He's a hypocrite. He's somebody that doesn't even take a moment to realize how absolutely absurd and asinine what he's saying is. He just wants this feeling of catharsis. He is being extremely feminine, overly emotional, and then brain dead, brain rot it takes. Every effing day a new embarrassment. I think the same thing every time I read one of your cringe political takes. Unsubscribe from Angry Joe Show. Stick to video games. Yo, dude. You really got to stop name dropping Hitler. Is this rage bait or are you genuinely this retarded? I missed, like, understand. Understand.
Them together and marry.
She's fucking the Matrix.
That was it.
Going side to side. It was a straight shot.
That was it. That was the moment where it's like the writers don't care. They're just taking action figures and smashing them together and marionetting with corpses. My fucking Star Trek to get their stupid fucking, messages across. Progressive messages that I agree with, but done in the most worst, one-sided, ham-fisted, stupidly written way that does a disservice to the message itself. And if there's anybody out there that would disagree with the message or take the other side or be conservative or something like that, they would be like, see, this is the kind of shit that I don't like. This woke fucking shit. I am making sure not to listen to any of it. Who are they preaching to? The choir? Is this a subset of?
Yeah, I mean, I more or less agree with that. I mean, except for the agreeing about progressive values. TDS is a mental illness. You can go down the list. If you want to go find this post, you can go down the list. It's just the same. Nobody agrees with Joe. Nobody sides with him. Nobody likes him. He has taken a major L to his career. And this is a guy that used to be prominent back in, 2009, 2010. But yeah, he's done. I don't see any way that he recovers from this or any of the number of things that he's done. I just don't see it. You have better alternatives. Asmongold is a far better alternative, and Asmongold has 1,000 times better track record on stuff like this than Angry Joe. So why would anyone go to him? Yeah, he's a woke, pathetic freak. And if Angry Joe got deported, I wouldn't shed a tear. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for supporting the channel. It means more than you know. And I'll see you next time.